Going to talk about the Epstein Files again. I know, we've done it before, but we've got to keep at it. Democrats, of course, want to keep this thing alive, but for some weird reason, apparently Trump does too, because he keeps posting about it on his Truth Social. So let's do it. Let's get real. The Epstein Files exist, right? And Donald Trump is in them. And because of Trump himself, you have to believe that there is something there so disgusting that he thinks it might make even Republicans, even MAGA, turn on him. And what would the result of that be? Impeachment, conviction. What other explanation could there be? We already know Trump's history. He's the grab him by the pussy guy who owned a beauty pageant and liked to brag about how he could go into the dressing room of these young girls who were just barely too old for Jeffrey Epstein and catch them in various states of undress. He's the guy who liked to hang out with Epstein and said Trump had been his one-time best friend. Trump didn't end the friendship because of Epstein's proclivity for underage girls. In fact, Trump seemed to think that was kind of cute. I'm sure you've seen the clip of Trump saying he thought Epstein was a great guy, and both of them, he and Epstein, loved beautiful women, but Epstein liked his on the young side. Wink, wink, wink. Trump was convicted by a jury of being a sexual predator and ordered to pay a total of almost $100 million in two separate trials. I think so far he's stiffed E. Jean Carroll, pardon the expression, for all or most of the money. Forget about the 34 felony convictions. Our president is a person you can call a sexual predator and win any libel charge because all you're doing is stating a fact. So that brings us to the Epstein Files. If Trump were in fact to really believe there was nothing damaging in those files, he'd be demanding they be released, right? Instead, he floods the zone by blaming every Democrat he can think of running the files. I don't even know what that means. To me, this was an obvious effort for when the files do come out, which, by the way, they will, to have a fallback position that he was being framed by the Democrats, those nasty Democrats. And now he sends his personal attorney, who happens to now work with the Justice Department, to talk to Epstein's girlfriend, procurer and groomer, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year sentence in a federal prison for her role in this whole slimy business. Why would Trump want to do that? Obviously, he is hoping she would say something that would exonerate him. Why would Maxwell do that? Obviously, she's hoping to get out of jail. She thinks this may be her get-out-of-jail-free card. For his part, Trump refuses to deny that he would commute her sentence, and his lawyer spent a dozen or so hours talking this weekend to Maxwell about something. Now, some of Trump's slobbering sycophants are starting to say, maybe we should just go a little easier on Maxwell. Maybe she's just being misunderstood. Come on. Will this be just another outrage that Trump and his faithful sweep under the rug? Probably. These people are now so invested in this gang of outlaws that they'll let them get away with anything. But I won't, and I don't think legions of Democrats and independents will either. I think we will rise up in November of 26 and give these Republican enablers the biggest defeat in history. And that will teach the remaining loyalists that their leader has feet of clay. Let's make that happen.